All right, Stipe Miocic versus Jon Jones. This is a fight that I've been looking forward to for a long time. Now, even though Dana has not said that this fight is official, I still believe this is the next fight for these two guys. On one hand, you have Stipe, the greatest heavyweight in UFC history, taking on Jon Jones, the greatest light heavyweight in UFC history. Now, in terms of what's at stake for both guys, Jon Jones wants to fight Francis Ngannou. He wants to be UFC heavyweight champion. In order to do that, he has to beat the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, Stipe Miocic. If he loses to Stipe Miocic, his dominance, his greatness will fall apart because he's never been beaten. That's why he's so famous, aside from his great talents and many contributions to the sport. Stipe Miocic, on the other hand, he wants to fight Francis too. He wants the trilogy. He wants to redeem that embarrassing knockout loss he suffered last March, and he can do that if he beats Jon Jones. Now, they're both big names. They're both legends. Both clearly surefire Hall of Famers, even though Jones is already in the Hall of Fame. I'm talking about a straight-up Hall of Fame. I'm not talking about for a fight or for anything crazy he's done. I'm talking about his actual career when it's all said and done. Look, for Jon Jones to win this fight, it's simple. He needs to be able to pick apart Stipe on the feet. He clearly has the reach advantage. I think he has a better wrestling background than Stipe does. I think he's the better wrestler. To win this fight, he needs to pick him apart, like I said, and hit him and move, stick him and move, jab, jab, and he needs to tie up Stipe and take him down. He doesn't need a clinch fight with Stipe. For this fight to go Jones's way, he needs to win a decision and do this the whole fight. He can win a decision, a very competitive fight. For Stipe to win this fight is the opposite, obviously. He needs to get in real close and hit Jon in the body, hit him in the face. He needs to keep it simple. Use the dirty boxing he used against Cormier and other great fighters. And he needs to grind out Jon Jones on the feet. And if Jon Jones is to wrestle him, he needs to be able to match or at least come close to matching Jon Jones's wrestling abilities, to his talents. If he can take down Jon Jones at least once or twice in this fight, he can win. I don't think it would be a decision if Stipe won. I think he would get a TKO and wear out Jon Jones later on in the fight and win the fight that way. He would have to wear him out like he did with DC in the rematch, hit him with body shots or hit him with shots to the face, pick him apart bit by bit by bit. And he would have to, I don't think it'd be a comeback win for him. I just think it'd be a factor of he's just powerful and he's fight smart, and everything goes his way. And eventually Jones would crumble and he would get on top and finish it until the referee stops the fight. That's how Stipe wins this fight. When that fight would end for him, I think late third, early fourth round, he would beat Jon Jones like that. Jon Jones doesn't really need to finish Stipe. He's clearly capable. He can submit guys. He can knock guys out. He can go the distance and still feel fresh after the fight, during the fight. You know what I mean. But the longer this fight goes, the more in favor it is for Jon Jones. The sooner Stipe finishes the fight, the better for him. I think it'll be just about whoever executes the best, who's able to keep their emotions intact, and who makes the least amount of mistakes. Whoever can do those things the best wins this fight. If this fight was at light heavyweight, I'd give it to Jon Jones in a competitive fight. This fight's going to be competitive. It's not going to be one-sided. They're both great. They're both hungry. Both former world champions. So they both know what it takes to win big fights like this. But I'm going to go with Stipe Miocic. I think he gets a late TKO stoppage over Jon Jones. I think the power at heavyweight will be too much for Jon Jones. Jon Jones has fought his career at light heavyweight. He's been the bigger guy in all of his fights. This time he's fighting a guy his size or a bit bigger. You know Stipe is hungry because he lost his last fight in embarrassing fashion. Jon Jones has never lost, so Stipe is going to be hungry. I think Jones has the better skill set, but at the end, I see Stipe getting a third or fourth round TKO. It'll just be too much for him later on in the fight, and Stipe will take over when Jon Jones is not able to have his way with him. Now, Jon Jones can win this fight. I give him a 35% chance, but Stipe should win this fight. Stipe has the edge at heavyweight. He has the experience. He's been able to handle some power. He's been hit, and he's hit guys hard. He's wrestled bigger guys. See, when they both fought Cormier, you can say Jones never lost to him, but Stipe does not have any history in terms of his drug testing with DC. He beat him both times straight up, and he should have won the first fight, in my opinion. And he beat DC when DC was at his best. We all know that's at heavyweight. So while Jones can win this fight, his inexperience at heavyweight, I don't think he could take the power that is at heavyweight the same way at light heavyweight. So I got to give it to Stipe by fourth round TKO.